everybody, Professor Gilbert Godrevy here, planetary expert. I also run a small fruit and veg shop in Camborne, so I like to explain the wonder of the planets using the beauty of fruit and veg. I'd like you to imagine that this lovely rosy red apple here is planet Earth. Yeah, that's right. The Earth has been shrunk down to the size of an apple. Now, in reality, the Earth is about 25,000 miles in circumference. So if you wanted to walk around the Earth, it'd take you about 4 years. And you'd have to cross some big oceans so you get your feet a bit wet. If the Earth was an apple, then the moon would be about the size of this cherry. The moon is about 240,000 miles from the Earth. So if you wanted to walk from the Earth to the moon, it'd take you about 38 years. Now, slightly nearer to the sun from us is our sister planet, Venus, which I shall represent using this lovely peach here. Now, whereas the Earth is a wonderful place to live, Venus, oh dear, it is boiling hot. There's absolutely no atmosphere. Now, Venus takes about 225 days to go around the sun. That is a year on Venus. However, it takes 243 days to rotate once on its axis. That is a day on Venus. In other words, a day on Venus is longer than a year. Slightly further out from the sun is Mars, which I shall represent using this lemon. Now, of course, Mars doesn't look like a lemon, that would be silly. But if I turn the lemon that way, it is about the right diameter to approximate Mars. And then nearest the sun, we got little rocky Mercury, which is not much bigger than our own moon. So I shall represent that using another little cherry. So there we are, the 4 inner rocky planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. But as we go further out into the solar system, things get a lot bigger, so we got to change the scale. I'd like to imagine now that Earth has shrunk down to the size of this cherry. This is now Earth. The next planet is the great gas giant Jupiter, which I shall represent using this great big watermelon. Look at the difference in size between Jupiter and Earth. You could fit about 1,000 Earths inside Jupiter. And then next we got beautiful Saturn, which I shall represent using this cantaloupe melon. Now, as we all know, Saturn is surrounded by lovely rings made up of millions and millions of tiny little bits of ice. Now, I wasn't sure how to do the rings around this. I thought about getting a packet of crisps and crunching them up and spreading them about. But you see, a cantaloupe melon doesn't have the gravity to keep the crisps in orbit, so they just would have made a mess on the floor. Saturn takes about 10 hours to spin on its axis. That is a day on Saturn. However, it takes about 30 years to go around the sun. That is 1 year on Saturn. So there's about 26,000 days in a year if you were to live on Saturn. And next, we have another 2 gas giants, not quite as big as Jupiter and Saturn, but still very big compared to Earth. First of all, we've got Uranus, which I shall represent using another beautiful fuzzy peach. And then last of all, we've got beautiful Neptune. So that's it. That's all the planets, 8 of them. There aren't any more. Oh, I know what you're thinking. What about lovely little Pluto? Well, at this scale, Pluto would be about the size of this tiny little black peppercorn. She's absolutely tiny. You see, back in 1930, when Pluto was discovered, everyone thought, hey, lovely, we got 9 planets. But since then, many other things have been discovered in the solar system, which are as big as, if not bigger than Pluto. So if we were to include all of them, we'd have about 25 planets. So in 2006, lots of astronomers got together and they had a vote, and they decided that Pluto and all those other little things were no longer planets. We still love him though, don't we, little Pluto? Well, I hope that's told you something about planets to keep you interested. Remember, eating fruit and veg is very good for you, but under no circumstances attempt to eat a planet. This is Professor Gilbert Godrevy signing off. How do I get out of here?